It didn't record. There it goes. It started.
Hey, so welcome. Thanks for joining me today and kind of exploring what matters to you, Charlie. And one thing I'd like to ask you when you were filling out the questions on that first page of the whole health inventory, what was that experience like for you?
It was, it was eye-opening at the end of the day, right? Looking at it in a different way, thinking about my mental and emotional well-being, and also how to live my day-to-day life, right? That's always challenging. I don't ever really think about how it is to live my day-to-day life. So,
So it was eye-opening to
I,
really look at how you live your day-to-day life.
yes.
And when you look at how you live your day-to-day life, did it shine a spotlight on anything that really matters to you?
Oh, absolutely. The next paragraph talking about your mission, aspiration, and purpose, and kind of what your Northern Star is, that part really makes me always think of my family. Um, Also makes me think of helping others. I like to help others. I like to bring solutions to the table. So, whenever I think about those types of things in my day-to-day life, like my family's a major part of it. Every single morning, whenever my daughter goes to school, I make her breakfast now, depending on what she wants. Um, she's always wanting crescent rolls or biscuits, it seems like anymore, but air fried biscuits. um, but outside of that, and outside of family, being in work and really trying to create change in the world through my work also is something that I like to live for as well, and really think about my day to day and how I'm going to approach my day to day from that perspective.
Creating change in the world, helping others, time with your family. I hear that that's extremely important to you.
Yeah, that is extremely important. And it's been an adjustment over the past year because we also have another kid that went off to college. So, that adjustment's always challenging in itself, right? As now we had a new dynamic, right? Whether it's, with Alyssa leaving, going off to college, now there's just three of us in the home. So that's another challenge, another getting used to, but also exciting, sad, all the other things that go along with it too.
A full range or spectrum of emotions happening all
That's
in
right.
this condensed period. You mentioned something about being a positive change in the world. Maybe you didn't use the word positive, but I'm curious to know when you connect that value to the younger you. What were your dreams and aspirations when you were younger?
Oh man, how far back?
As far as you can remember.
That's right. I would say as a young man, I always wanted to really join the military, right? The Marine Corps. Outside of that, I always wanted to be an architect to build people things. Um, which is funny because I love to also design things, right? But not necessarily a house.
Right.
Probably more of a system, not necessarily, but back in the day, I remember always trying to draw and be an architect. But in the big picture, it was always, go join the military and go off and do good things. Back whenever you're a kid, all you think about of the military is, heroics, and you don't think of all the bad stuff that goes along with it, all the dedication and everything that goes along with it. You just think about the glory of it. But in the glory of it, I still always focused on the bigger picture of things, right? Like helping other people, helping the person who couldn't defend themselves, things like that.
Yeah, you have that protective nature. I heard you speak to that earlier too. Helping others, protecting others, your family's important to you. Yeah, I've known you for a number of years, and I've seen you live that out for sure.
Well, I
So
definitely appreciate that.
it's just great to see it from my standpoint too. So from that, connecting to what's truly important to you, what does that tell you about now? I've heard a few things, but I just want to reaffirm them.
So, what does that tell me about today or now?
Mhm.
I would say it tells me that I definitely want to make my family a huge priority in my life. Um, they are the number one priority in my life. But then I would say number two is, creating something that then answers some major problem in society.
Truly getting to live out that architect dream.
That's right, that
So you made,
architecture.
yeah, you mentioned that. You said, I'm not drawing houses, but I'm drawing something to change a system for the benefit of others.
That's right. And the big picture of that is, my mission has always been that I wanted to make my purpose greater than my reward. But now I feel like that's kind of shifted I turned 40 this past year as well. So, that's kind of changed and had me sit down and reevaluate, what my mission, aspiration, and purpose really is in life. And ultimately at this point in my life, I feel like I have lived my purpose greater than my reward. Now it's time to think about how I can create something that can impact a whole lot of people and hopefully be able to change more than just making my purpose greater than my reward. Hopefully I can create a system that helps other people create their purpose, that helps them live their greatest lives.
So a system to help other people live their purpose.
That's right. That's a better way to
It,
say it.
I'm just trying to sum it up. You said those words and I'm pulling them together. So would you say that's fair? When you answer this question, what do you need your health for? That you need it for family is
Yes.
number one. Number two is creating something bigger than yourself.
Yes. I have to stay healthy to be able to do that, right? So number one would be that I need to stay healthy to be able to get in the floor and play with my grandkids at some point, right? Or still be able to travel to go see my kids wherever they end up in the country. Um, but then also I have to stay healthy. If you're going to change the world, you got to stay healthy, right?
Leading by example, right?
Right. Leading by example.
So when you say the word healthy, I'm curious to understand, what does that word mean to you?
That's a powerful question in itself, right? Is what does healthy really mean? And to me, looking at that circle of health is kind of maintaining that health, right? Is really, um, it's more than just my lipid panel. It's more than just my A1C, right? It's more than everything that my doctor tells me I have to do. But more importantly, I need to look at those components of self-care and make sure that I am heading in the right direction in each one of those components. Even if it's even if it's kind of stagnant for a time, because some of these may not be something that I focus on all the time. But even if it's just like, as long as they're not moving in the wrong direction. And what I mean by that is, moving the body. If I'm not moving my body for a period of time, at least I'm doing other things like getting in a sauna, focusing on myself, maybe walking the dog, doing different things that maybe might not be that, but I'm not moving in backwards, right? I'm not gaining weight. My muscles aren't getting, deteriorated because I'm not moving, whatever you want to call it. I feel like I just need to be able to focus on those areas and move in a positive direction.
Focusing on those areas helps give you a positive direction for your overall health.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for walking me down that so I can understand from your viewpoint what healthy really means. And I'm curious also about another question that's on the whole health inventory, and that's those 3 scaling questions at the beginning.
Hmm.
And so when you think of those questions, what stands out to you?
I would say, my physical health is probably something I need to work on. That was the question that really struck me more than anything whenever I look at physical health. Mental and emotional health is good. How to live my life day to day, I feel pretty confident on that too, But my physical health, just seems like, continues to get kicked down a little bit on the list, and not because of something. Well, it is because of something I'm probably doing, but the biometric data and different things that my doctor tells me, it's like, oh man, I got to start doing something different. and then I can feel it in my body too.
Yeah, so you feel it in your body as like one of the first indications. So when you think about that and your physical health kicked down, to me, that kind of says a lower priority because you have other things that you're tackling in life. If you were to make no changes and just keep living like you are today, what would life look like in about 3 to 5 years?
Oh man, if I did nothing and continued down this path, I would say I would probably be pre-diabetic. Um, I would probably gain about, oh man, 3 to 5 years out. That would probably be a lot of weight, right? That'd probably be like that'd probably be a lot of weight over time. Let's say, let's be a little bit conservative. Let's say I'd probably be about 30 pounds heavier. Um, Probably more than that. Um, and probably just not overall feeling good, right? Overall, more pain, more inflammation, all those types of things. And that's what I don't want.
I mean, besides the obvious, because nobody wants to hurt, nobody wants to be in that inflammation. Why do you not want those things?
You know, I don't want those things because I want to be able to enjoy the next 10 years with my daughter. Well, I guess 8 years now since she's 10 now, but I want to be able to enjoy the time that she's here in this house and be able to take her places. Um, I would also say another big thing that's in my life that I didn't mention before is my dogs, which is funny because I never wanted dogs. However, I love these two dogs that we got, but I don't ever walk them. But they need to walk, right? They need that energy um, taken care of and things like that. So I would say that's important to me too.
Yeah, so spending quality time with Olivia and really being able to engage, being able to walk those two knuckleheads of your dogs.
That's right. That's
Your
right.
words in a different conversation, folks. That's so 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 imagine that you are living according to what matters most, thriving in your happiness, fullest, most joyful life. What would that look like in 3 to 5 years?
I would say I would be healthy, able to move, definitely walking the dogs on a regular basis. Um, Definitely as a family, we would all be together and able to do those things together as well. So my wife and my daughter, and whenever Alyssa comes in, hopefully she's there at that point too. But a little bit less out of my control there. But definitely, I think that's what it would look like. It would be just kind of family thriving, not just living in the moment, but just thriving as well.
Yeah, so the family's together. I heard an emphasis on that word and thriving.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I've known you from the past, so I know that you have a lot of positive, strong attributes to your personality and what drives you in life. But what do you identify as your personal strengths?
I would say my personal strengths. Oh man, I don't know. Um, I would say my personal strengths are always curious, always thinking of solutions. So solutions, future focused. Um, it's funny, somebody was asking me the other day, am I a deep thinker? And I would say I definitely am a deep thinker. But not in a way that I think about the past. I think more about the future and solutions and what could be versus, what was. Um, I would say I'm able to function pretty well under pressure. Um, I think that would be another one of my personal strengths. I'd also say I'm a connector. I like to connect things, whether it's people, places, whatever it is. I just kind of like to connect things together. And I'd say probably providing a vision for the future. I feel like I'm pretty good at that too.
So I'm making a list of these things that you're talking about. And I'll provide them for you, but let me just say them to reaffirm that as curious, solution focused, future focused, a deep thinker in the way to see possibilities for the future and those solutions, that you function well under pressure. You connect people and solutions,
Yeah.
and And you also identify that providing a vision for the future is one of your strong suits. So how did those values play into supporting your health and well-being?
Um, that's a good point. I would say, how does it support it? Man, it's funny that I can provide a vision for the future for a business or in a leadership mindset, but I can't really do it for for creating my health vision and driving towards it. It seems like, I mean, I feel like I can, but that those values and value conflicts kind of get in the way along that journey, right? Of I really want to be healthy, but I also like to go eat ice cream late at night. There's a place around here that we went and ate that has Dole Whips, right? And I don't know if you're familiar with Dole Whips,
I
right?
am.
So then I'm like, man, that's going to be like a frequent place. I'm gonna start eating Dole Whips. Um, but so those are the things that stand in the way. But I would say as far as what it does is it allows me to be able to see that future of what my family could look like and then hopefully be able to drive towards it. I'd also say being able to connect my family and those types of things I feel pretty comfortable about because I think trying to focus on family, um, and for me, any trip that I take or any decision that is made is about how we can bring that family together. So I feel like that's always part of it too. So that connection.
Yeah, so taking that picture of the future family and that you're able to participate in that way, how might that help you make the changes that you need to make?
I'm hopeful it makes me make those changes because that's what I want to see in the future. I don't want to be what we described earlier, the 30-pound um, inflamed, person. I want to be the one that's active, that's, chasing my grandkids. Hopefully not 3 to 5 years from now, chasing grandkids, but hopefully, hopefully in the future, able to do that. Um, just really being able to move, run around, walk, be able to go to DC and go see everything without having to take 4,000 breaks or have a scooter. I don't want to be the person with the scooter at the amusement park or or wherever. I want to be the one that can walk up and sit down and get back up without somebody having to help me or even with a prosthetic of a cane or whatever.
It's important for you to maintain your independence.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So I also heard that that vision of the future family, maintaining independence, serves as the motivation for you
Yes.
to engage in healthy behaviors. So I do have another question, a curiosity of how might you operationalize that?
Oh man, how might I operationalize that? I would say operationalizing that. Oh man, do you mean like full on setting goals and moving towards it, or do you mean like how do you mean?
So that was a kind of a clunky question, but I might ask it in the way of how would you stay connected to your vision? Is
Hmm.
it just a thought that you have in your head, or would you write it down on a piece of paper? Would you put it on post notes around the house? Those are just some kind of some brainstormed ideas, but
Yeah.
what do you think of when you could set reminders of like this is my vision?
I typically write it on my board right here, so I look at it all the time. I also have Ted Lasso's Believe poster above my whiteboard, so that way I can believe as well. Because I think believing in the future of whatever vision that you set is a must, and you need to be able to do that. So absolutely, I have it written down in multiple places on my computer, to my whiteboard, to anywhere that I kind of look at frequently and spend time whenever I'm thinking as well, like an office.
Yeah, so I think I could have asked that question a better way of saying, how do you connect? Because connect is something that's important to you, connecting things, connecting the vision of the future, the importance of your family to your daily habits for healthy living. And I heard that you have the Believe poster up, you have some stuff written on your whiteboard, you have things written on your computers, multiple
Yes.
computers. Okay. And is that working well for you?
I mean, I feel like I would say yes and no. because something that's written down on a piece of paper is only as good as the paper that it's written on, unless I'm doing something to move towards it, right? So I think yes and no. I think reading it and seeing it helps me believe in it. But then I think to take it a step further, I have to put action behind it.
And how might you do that?
I would say coming to see you to set up some goals.
Fair
But
enough.
I do think that's it, right? Is you have to be able to look at that vision, make it a focal point, and then drive goals behind it, right? And put goals behind it that you want to achieve. Of course, as a family, we'd have to bring in the family, because I don't know if I could just be like, these are the goals we're moving towards, family. Come with me. So bring them involved, and engage them as part of that process as well.
Yeah, so for kind of a complete circle, what I hear is your hope is to create goals that are actionable, that relate to your personal health for this journey, but also to bring your family, one of your main values, into the conversation so that you know that they support it.
Absolutely.
All right. Anything else that you're taking away from the conversation today?
No, I think the big thing that I'm taking away is that I have to set goals around my family. No, but really trying to think about how I want that ideal family to look, and then engage them in the process to hopefully have that family that I shouldn't say that I envisioned for the future, but that I would want a nice, healthy family for the future.
So this vision of a healthy family for the future. And we're going to work together to design some goals that lead to action to
Yes,
make that a reality.
absolutely.
Excellent. Well, I look forward to some future sessions where we put that into practice. And I really look forward to hearing your thoughts on it as well.
I can't wait. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Pleasure is all mine.